This is the most asked question that I get when somebody asks me how they can plan their own retreat, and it is, how do I price my retreats? And this was something that took me so long to learn, and I finally have gotten the perfect method on how to price the retreats. So in the last video, we spoke about on how to find the perfect villa. So at this point, you should have your villa done, and the villa is going to be the structure of everything. So now we know exactly where the retreat is going to be, and we know how much our stay is going to be, so we could put that into the budget. Create a spreadsheet of budget, and this is where a lot of research comes in. There are some main categories that I make sure my budget goes into, and that is stay, food, excursions, transportation, and an extra category. Your stay, you should already know how much this is going to be because we looked at the villas, we looked at how much this was going to be. Now that you know the location of everything, you can easily kind of do the research for each category and estimate it. And I use chat a lot for this, so I'll go category by category. I'll ask, okay, how much is it to usually book a chef in this location? How much are groceries in this location? How much is it to eat out at restaurants? And from that, I always highball everything. I'd rather have more in the budget than less in the budget. Then excursions. I use all the excursion platforms and I look at the top excursions for the area and I estimate how much it is for a group to go, and I do at least 3 excursions and I pick the highest price of these 3 excursions and put that in the budget. Same thing for transportation. How much is transportation usually in this area? I do a lot of research and I create an estimate budget for each one. What goes in the extras is usually welcome gifts. I offer welcome gifts at all of my retreats. Little extra things. For my Bali retreat, I did like a flower pool decoration. That was a surprise for the girls, and that is part of extras. Things that wouldn't go in the 4 main categories, but that you're still spending money on, that will go in the extras. From here, you should have an estimate of how much you think you're going to spend on this retreat, and the number might be scarily high, and that is okay. The numbers used to scare me so much on how much I spend on retreats because it is up there. People don't realize how much money goes in to planning retreats. So then I take how much I'm going to spend on the retreat and how much I want to make on the retreat. I add those numbers together and then I divide it by the amount of spots that I could open on the retreat. And there is your number of how much you should price your retreat at. Of course, this number can fluctuate depending on discounts and everything else, but you have a good structured budget to start with and you know what you can price your retreat at now. So I hope that helped. This is part of my series Behind the Retreat, where I'm showing you all the behind the scenes to planning the perfect retreat for your community. So make sure you follow along to see all the other videos. And by the end of this series, you will know how to plan your own retreat. So follow along and comment below if you have any other questions.